welcome to episode 8 of the Tough Draw Talks podcast. I'm your host, Brad Hughes. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to 2021. We are starting off this year in a big way, and we look forward to bringing you the all-access pass to the community and the sport you love all year this new year. Appreciate you being along for the ride. Speaking of big, today we have Blake Sharp of Sharp Bucking Bulls joining us. Blake has deep family ties to the contracting world and has been around the bull game for a while. He's involved with the PBR and is a member of the ABBI, which he'll be competing in this weekend here in Fort Worth. Blake, thanks for being here today, man. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Oh, man. 2020 is behind us, so we're going to see what this year's got in store for us.
Yes, sir.
Got any nerves about tonight?
Not really. It's second nature to me now.
Is it? Cool, man. Well, on the podcast, we like to get started with a couple rapid-fire questions just to break the ice a little bit and get you comfortable.
Yes, sir.
If you could meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Probably John Wayne, just because he was so tough and had a good role in all them movies. Just did a phenomenal job. So.
And he played football too.
He did.
Which we'll get to in a little bit.
Good deal.
If you could be the best at anything, what would it be and why?
I'd be the best at what I do now, and that's being a stock contractor and being stock contractor of the year one day.
Yeah, high aspirations, but I bet you'll get there.
Yes, sir.
What makes you tick? Like, what keeps you going?
The love of the Bulls keeps me going. They hold a very special place in my heart. When I played ball, I always, thought about them. Wasn't really able to be around them as much as I wanted to be. But so when I got done playing ball, I just took it full-fledged and we went to it. So
that's cool, man. What's the best compliment you've ever received in your life?
They always say I'm well-mannered, always well-kept. That's what I try to be. I always try to be the best I can be at anything. So
I can attest to the well-mannered part.
Yes,
I don't think you've not said yes, sir, to me once. So we're going to try to break that here on the podcast so that we can just conversate. What's your favorite movie?
That's a tough one. A movie I watched so much back in the day was Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know why I loved it, but I'd say that's probably one of my favorite.
Very cool. What would you say are some great sports movies?
Friday Night Lights.
There you go.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
There you go.
If 8 Seconds is considered a sports movie, that's a good one.
100%. 100%.
Got to throw that one in there.
It's time for Bull Riding to have a new movie, isn't it?
Yes, sir. For sure.
We're going to work on that. We're going to try to see if we can make that happen.
Yes, sir.
Well, coming up, so 2021, new year. Any bold predictions for the NFR this year? I know last year your Bulls did good with JB on their back at the finals. But what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win the world this year? You got any projections?
As far as the PBR finals goes, I think Just Lockwood's got a chance to take it this year.
Yeah.
Jose Vitor Lemmy's going to come in strong again, and he's going to be tough to beat for a long time. But Jess, I'm going to go with Jess.
Yeah. So I made on our previous podcast to end 2020, I made the proclamation that I think if Chase Outlaw's healthy, I think that may be something to contend with for everybody. I think he may have a world title in him. But
yeah, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Chase's heart.
Oh,
Chase has got a big heart.
I know. He's a little guy with the heart of a giant.
He's not going to quit till his head hits the ground.
That's right. So you're here for the ABBI Classic. What bulls did you bring? How you like your chances? What are your thoughts on tonight?
I brought a bull named Ground Pain. He's a 4-year-old in the Classic. Really strong bull, lots of air, lots of kick. He's got a lot of brammer in him. Just really cool old school bull. We got this new bull named CB's Buck Naked. Got a partner there in Mississippi that partnered with me, and looking forward to his out. I've got a maturity bull in it that we're really excited about. 22D. We call him King Brute. He's a Brutus son, and he just really has it all, So
very cool.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. So all these bulls. So the ages of the bulls you brought, are they all, what are they, 3, 4? Or?
These are going to be 4. The classic bulls are 4, and the maturity bulls are 5 and up.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. All right, so football, your background, you're a Mississippi boy, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about your upbringing. You were raised around bulls and rodeo and, pulling up some articles. I saw some things about, like, the college football player that works out in the off season with bucking bulls, right? So tell me a little bit about how all that went as you grew up.
I'll tell you, growing up, my dad always made me feed bulls with him, and as I got older, I started feeding them all by myself, and and I just loved it. I loved being around them, and it was like they were just always special animals to me. And as I got older and started playing ball, playing ball kind of took over the time, and I wasn't able to do it like I wanted to, like I said earlier, but. Probably feeding bulls and being around and handling bulls made me a stronger football player, mentally and physically. But I'd say raising a boy on a ranch is not a bad thing.
I can agree to that, man. I grew up in West Texas, and the stigmas of West Texas and the South and football and all that. Like, I always felt like playing football was such a big part of my shaping of my character. And then also my grandpa, he owned a cattle ranch in West Texas that I would go out there during the summers and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about just the compare and contrast of the two. Obviously, one's a team sport, one's not, I guess, necessarily. How are the dynamics alike and different?
It's a lot different. As far as the football goes, that you're playing as a team. You got to play for all the other guys too. You can't just play for yourself. But as far as the bulls go, they're the teammates. I'm the coach. But I have to keep them fed well and keep them in shape to perform well. They don't take care of themselves, and they're not going to go find their own food. So I have to make sure they get all that. And it's similar, but it's a little bit different,
Yeah. So the stock contractor mentality, you show up, you've got animal athletes that you've been working with, prepping, what goes through your head when one of your bulls runs in the chutes and you're flanking him and a guy's getting on him? Like, what are you thinking? How are you processing that?
I just want the bull to do his job, and I want him to perform at his best. I hate to see when a bull doesn't have a great day, and I start thinking to myself, why didn't he have a great day? Was it because his stomach was upset, or, what was it? Was it the way the rider felt on him, made him go the other way, or whatever it may be? That's always running through my head. I just want them to have a great trip. And when they do have a great trip, that's one of the best feelings, all the hard work's paid off.
What about if they get ridden? What if they have a good trip, but they get ridden? What is the mentality?
If they get ridden, I want them to be high points. If the bull's bucking to his best and the rider's riding to his best and they combine for a great score, that's what's going to be, that's what makes it for me.
So that's a win for you,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That gets you pumped up.
Yes, sir.
What about the physicality of both sports? I mean, you played collision sport. You were on the offensive line in the trenches. Like, you would hit, you were going nose to nose, helmet to helmet. And then obviously with bull riding, you and I have gone over some of the footage from the World Finals and some of the rough outs there.
Yes, sir.
Like, just the physicality of the sport. What is it about that just gets you excited and stuff like that? Like, what was it about football, and how does that physicality portion translate to bull riding as you watch it?
It's the competitive part of it, and also just the adrenaline. They're both adrenaline sports. When you're going up against a really good defensive end. I played right tackle in college, and when you're going up a good defensive end and you can beat him, and that's just, it's a really good feeling. It's the same way with the bulls. I mean, the bulls, They can hurt the riders pretty easy, and that's not what you want. But at the end of the day, they're going to pay a price in their career, the bull riders. But they're going up against a 1,500 to 2,000 pound, bucking bull. But that's a whole different level. I never rode bulls, but I can see exactly how it would be.
Well, I know you didn't ride bulls, but obviously the late Mississippi hippie, he was a pretty big old boy.
Yes, he was.
He might could have carried you for a ride or two. How do you think he would have fared?
He was about 2,400 plus pounds, and that is a very large bull. I don't know if we would have been a good match. He probably would have jerked me down pretty quick.
Would you have been the type that just hangs on until your head hits the ground, though?
I probably would, yeah.
Yeah. So you talked about the team mentality of you, the coach, the bulls, your players, right?
Right.
And you having to care for them. Talk a little bit about how does your team work? Is there a team that works together for you? Is it all pretty individualized? How does that work for you as a stock contractor?
I just call it a team. Every bull bucks for themselves. But as far as a team goes, it's just all about managing the bulls the correct way, making sure that, like I said, all of them are fed right. All of them are, maybe I need to split this one bull off from this other bull because he's going to fight. And if they fight on the way to the bull riding, one of them's going to be sore more than likely, and he's probably not going to have a good trip. So I just have to make sure, just like my coach in college, he had to make sure every player was prepared for the game, and it's the same way with them bulls, just making sure everyone is prepared the right way, whether it be this one gets less feed, this one gets more feed, this one can't go with this bull, but this one can. There's just a lot of different factors, and people don't really realize that. They look at all. I'd love to have bucking bulls. That'd be cool, but I tell you what, they'll sure tear up some stuff.
I bet. You alluded a little bit to if a ride doesn't go exactly how you think it should, you start to kind of have the second thoughts or the gears turning of what could have happened. How hard is it to, when you're a right tackle and you punch your arms out, you pretty much decide whether or not you control the guy in front of you or not.
That's right.
It's a mentality like that. How hard is it to not have control when the bulls come in? You go from playing a sport where you control everything. Like
Yep.
You control how hard you work, you control how big you get, you control, whether you whoop the guy in front of you.
Yep.
But in bull riding, you can only do so much.
I tell you, I can prepare the bulls the best way I can, but they got a mind of their own. So when it comes to football, I have control of what I do over them during the game. During a bull riding, which would be considered the bull's game, I don't have control. The only thing I can do is make sure he's ready, fit, in shape, and the rest is up to him. The flanking part, plays a little bit of a factor in what he does, but it sure don't play a big factor.
Yeah. How do you prepare the bulls? You've talked about the feeding, you've talked about separating, stuff like that. How many times do you buck them? Do you buck them with riders? Like, talk about, do y'all raise, a lot of the times do y'all raise from start to finish, or do you buy? Explain kind of your process of how you operate as a stock contracting business.
So we do raise them. I'm starting to get more. I've always had cows and stuff, but I'm starting to. Over the past 5 years, I've culled my cows down, kind of brought in different bloodlines and cows that's actually produced. If the cow hasn't produced, I go ahead and get rid of them. But I'd say this set of babies we have here in 2020 are going to be the best set of calves we've had, and hopefully one day some of them get on the truck and I'm able to haul them. But for right now, most of my bulls come from partners. Mr. Henry Wilson out of Gilmer, Texas, he's like a grandfather to me, one of the best guys I ever met. He's treated me the best when it comes to sending me quality bulls. I go through them, figure out which ones are going to work. And then I just send the ones back that don't, tell him, hey, these bulls are going to be rodeo bulls or they're going to be practice bulls. Mr. Henry, you need to send that bull on to the sale barn.
Feedlot.
Yeah, do whatever you need to with him, but I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
But as far as at home, when I get them bulls, I make sure that they're in the right shape before I go to bucking them. Because if a bull's not in good shape, if he don't have a big back on him, he's not going to perform at his best. He might go out there and buck, but he's not going to buck to his full potential. So when it comes to getting them ready at home, it starts with that. And then you can kind of tweak them by running them, exercising them, just getting them out of the barn into the sun, letting them go play in the dirt pile. We usually set up a big dirt pile in the big round pen outside, and then bulls, I tell you, they'll get good exercise just from playing, you know. But I do have it's about a 3/4 of a mile long lane that I do run them down. Not every day, but at least 2 or 3 times a week, you know.
You get out behind them and around?
Yes, sir. Well, I need to.
How did you end up being partners with Co Wetzel?
Man, I met Co. I was at his concert in Starkville, Mississippi, and ended up meeting his, which at the time was his drummer, Dre. Dre is now his manager, but we met, and he invited me onto the bus to meet Co, and the rest is history. Me and Co really hit it off, and I enjoy being around him. There was never a sour moment between us during the whole time I was being around him, and that just kind of led to other things. And I asked him, I said, man, how would you like to own part of a bull? And he went along with it, you know. And the first bull we got together was Dirty Sancho. And Dirty Sancho has been a great bull. He's going to be a great PBR bull. He's a 4 coming 5-year-old, so he's got a lot of life left in him. The second bull we got together was Mr. Nasty.
He's out tonight, isn't he?
He is. He's the first bull in the long round tonight. That bull there, he made the PBR World Finals this year as a classic bull. He didn't have his best trip, but he sure enough bucked. And we look for big things out of that bull. The third bull that we got together was Sellout. It's named after his new album. And this bull here is probably one of the best bulls that I've had my hands on. And I could have kept the bull to myself, but I decided to reach out to Co and his buddy Cody, which has become my good buddy. Cody O'Neill wanted to be involved as well. So I think we got something special there. He's just a 2 coming 3, so
dang.
Yeah, he's got a lot of life, man. He's just got so many. His dad is Pearl Harbor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And his mama, his mama is the own daughter of Bushwhacker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, so those are some bloodlines right there, man.
Deep genetics there. So
dang,
we're looking forward to his career.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I can't wait to see that. That may help you achieve that dream you got.
Yeah, it
that
might.
One right there.
We're sure building for it.
What would you say to somebody that wants to be a stock contractor?
Man, start with having the right facilities. If you do not have the right facilities, you cannot handle the bulls. If you start with a good facility and then start buying some, if you got deep pockets, you can go buy the bulls that are sure enough ready to go and get on the truck. But if you're like me, you're gonna have to build them. You're gonna have to build them yourself. Buy a project, buy a bull that's got the potential, and try to turn him into something. And I tell you, that's probably what I like most about my job is finding a diamond in the rough. If you find a diamond in the rough and you can get him to the biggest stage in what we do, that's what makes it for me.
You just alluded to something that's always interested me is the stock contractor. There's different types of stock contractors, and throughout all the years of following the community and doing the things that I've done in the research, talk a little bit more about that. Is the stock contractor like you, where it's the genetics start to finish, bootstraps kind of mentality? Is that going away, and is it being pushed out by money, like by people just wanting to buy, or is it or will there always be a pretty healthy balance, you feel like?
I think the guys that sure enough know how to handle a bull grew up in it, like myself. And I think those are going to be the guys that stick to being the main caretaker of the animal. You'll have guys come in that buy into these bulls and stuff, but they'll never be hands-on. And I think that's how it should be. You know, it gives them something to watch on TV. It gives them something to go do. You know, whether they go to a PBR event. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of money to be made in the bull business, but you gotta hook up with the right guy that loves it just as much as you do. You know, you just gotta, if you love it and you keep doing it and you keep trying, you will eventually hit. You know.
Yeah. So growing up in the, you know, in the cattle business and in the bucking bull business, but also playing sports. You know, the communities of these are so intricate, and the fans.
Yes, sir.
You know, the fans are avid. You know, both ways, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you see that there's that crossover, particularly with the fans? I know you alluded to adrenaline. Do you think that has a lot to do with it?
It does, and I think I think the PBR, the PRCA, they bring in all walks of life. You know, they bring in different people that are looking for an adrenaline pumping sport.
Yeah.
Football has always been an adrenaline sport. You know, you're watching guys hit each other, and you know, basketball and baseball. Those sports have never been my cup of tea because you're not actually. It's not a physical
gladiator
sport.
sports.
Yeah, it's not a gladiator sport. But you know, bull riding is definitely one of the biggest adrenaline pumping sports you could watch. You know, because you may watch a great ride one minute, and the next minute you're watching a dude get hooked and thrown up in the air 10 foot. You just never know because you're competing with a bull that is unpredictable. You know.
As I've kind of made my way through this community and kind of been on my journey, I've really noticed just how the community embraces the Western culture community, right?
Yes.
There's, you know, when we watched the NFR, some of the things that stood out were like the patriotism and the faith and like just completely unabashed. Like, you know, they embrace it, they love it, they're proud of it. What is it about this community in general, like that you've grown up around, where there's this mentality of like, doesn't matter if you're not blood, you know, everybody's welcome and we take people in. Like, how have you seen that play out for you growing up in it?
You know, the rodeo business, the rodeo fan base, the people that grow up around rodeo and cattle are mainly Christians, but they're also gonna welcome anybody with open arms that wants to come be involved. You know, and that's what I like about it. They're always big on God and Jesus and the prayer before each event. And you know, I got saved 3 or 4 years ago. I was a totally different person before, and now, you know, it's. And
now you say yes sir all the time.
You just see the big picture now, and I love it. I mean, it doesn't get any better, and that's, you know, like college football and the NFL. Them guys are. I don't think they look at it the right way sometimes, you know, and that's
kind of missed the mark a little bit.
They do, and that's really none of my business. But I choose what I like to do and what I like to watch, and I like being around rodeo and bull riding. You know.
Well, man, first off, congratulations for being saved. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, and I can attest from what I know about you, you do come across as a light. So, just so you know that's awesome that you do that. Yeah. And, you know, and I think you have a really good platform with the stock contracting and being around the riders and being around these guys. And that's awesome that you have that drive and that mentality, you know. So I commend you for that 100%. But, man, to wrap this up, let's run through some fan questions. By the way, fans, thank y'all for submitting these on our social media channels. We appreciate y'all's engagement. So Jennifer asks, what size boot do you wear?
A 13, and that's pretty You can find a 13 pretty much anywhere, so
Yeah.
pretty fortunate.
Okay. Well, Sage Say, right?
Yes, sir.
The bullfighter. He wanted me to ask you, why aren't you still playing football?
I get that question so much, but I couldn't do the Bulls by playing football. That was just impossible. Football in college, people that do get to play it in college, they realize that it's a job.
Yeah.
And you got to go to meetings and everything else between meetings and training and weightlifting and going over plays, just whatever it may be. It just took up all my time, so therefore I chose whenever I got done at Louisiana Tech just to move on to the Bulls, which I was at Louisiana Tech. I couldn't do anything. That's why I didn't like it. And but at East Mississippi, I was 45 minutes from the ranch, so I was able to go back and forth. My coach was one that he liked what I did, and he let me go and be around him when I could, and that helped me kind of get through everything. But when it's in your blood and when you're raised around it, it's hard to get away from it.
Yeah. Lindsay from Texas asks, in regards to the clip that you sent me to post on social media of you massaging the bull, do you do this to all your bulls?
No, some bulls are not as nice as others. That bull there happens to be Buffalo Scott. He won 160,000 in his career. He belongs to my buddy Shannon Burrito and his partners. But not all bulls are gonna let you touch them like that. So no, ma'am, just a few.
So Sam over there at the audio board wants to know, how do you pick the bulls, and have you ever had a connection with one you didn't want to get rid of?
I have. I've made the mistake of not selling some bulls that I could have sold for some good money because I had a little too much of a love for them, But you just have to make the right decision at the right time. As far as picking the bulls, there's some bulls that have it, and there's some bulls that just don't. And if you find the one that has it, that's the one that I want on my truck. If he don't have it, he just don't have it. You just got to, just like the NFL, them guys are playing for big money, getting paid huge salaries, and they're talented. They're getting paid for a reason. And when it comes to these bulls, I make sure that they have what it takes to go to the next level. When it comes to Cody Lambert, I look up to Cody Lambert. He's my boss in the PBR. I always want to bring the best. I don't want to bring anything that lets him or myself down.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, with these, one thing that I've always wanted to do with these podcasts is just make sure that, and with our work with Tough Draw, just to give a voice to the community. And is there anything you want to say about the community, the fans, or just anything in general that you want to add to, especially going into 2021 and this being such an hopefully a turn up year?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, in 2020, it's been very tough for all the people in rodeo, whether it be, rodeo or the PBR. But I got to see firsthand how it was with the PBR and how, I competed in Duluth with 10 head of bulls this year with no fans. And we were supposed to have fans that weekend, and they told us that, we couldn't have fans. The PBR had to make a decision to continue the event, so they did air it on CBS Sports, and we went on with it. And I would say 2021 hopefully is way better than 2020, and we're still fired up about it, and we're going to give our best efforts, and y'all just come out and watch it happen.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate it. And what for somebody that's hearing this that has never really been a fan or has gotten into the sport, what would you say to those people that don't?
I would say try it. Just buy your tickets to an event. It doesn't get any better than a PBR Unleash the Beast tour event. They're big. They're loud. They're fun to watch. I say try to get involved and try to get to one.
Well, awesome, man. Well, Blake, thank you very much for being here. I really, really enjoyed this. Blake, where can people follow along with what y'all have got going on social media and stuff?
I would say Instagram is probably my biggest platform. Facebook won't let me add any more friends. So,
what's your handle on Instagram?
Sharp Bucking Bulls.
Okay. So follow along with them on Instagram, and if you would, follow along with us at Tough Draw and at Tough Draw Talks for more episodes of our podcast as we continue to bring y'all closer to the rodeo community and hopefully let the fans' voice be heard. Until next time, everyone, enjoy the ride.
Thank you.